If life is a school, if life is a school, Dinesh Waswani.
I hate going to school, Mr. Principal, and everyone here who have ever worn a school uniform. Good morning. I have learned that whatever I want to avoid is what usually comes right back into my life. Maybe that's the reason why last year I shifted from working as a manager in a factory to becoming a teacher in a school. I shifted from being called Mr. Dinesh to being called Sir Denise. Smart children have a problem pronouncing my name, apparently. As a teacher, I like to ask my students random questions. So I asked 7-year-old Kevin, when was the happiest day of your life? And he replied, the day I was born. I said, okay, very good. When was the saddest day of your life? The day my teachers were born. 8-year-old Kathy, I asked, who is your favorite actor? Daddy, you should see him acting when mommy not around. At first, becoming a teacher was a complete nightmare. Every time I entered the classroom, I felt like I was a one-man soldier fighting against 20 members of Taliban. And the sweet, cute, innocent faces, weapons of mass destruction. I entered the classroom and I said, all right, children, surprise test. They all began to sing. Oh. One girl raised her hand and said, sir, can we postpone the test? I'm not in the mood. I said, young lady, we are having the test no matter what's your mood. But sir, if you would postpone the test, you would start looking so handsome. Now that is emotional blackmail. How dare she calls me handsome? But as time went by, I began to enjoy learning from these children. In the sense of mischief, there was a sense of wisdom that made me look at life from a completely different perspective. To a class of 7-year-olds, I wanted to give them an IQ test. It was a puzzle in the form of a maze, where children had to draw lines and get themselves out of that puzzle. They all got so excited. After 20 minutes, when I announced, all right, children, pencils down, one boy raised his hand and said, sir, we are trying to concentrate. Don't disturb us when we are studying. Duh. But the amazing thing about these children was that every time they hit a dead end, it simply meant erase and find a new way. Erase and find a new way. On that day, these 7-year-olds eventually solved an IQ test that was actually meant for students age 15. That day, I went home thinking, how come I never looked at life the way these children in school uniforms did? In this puzzle of life, I had reached dead ends, so many times. In my career, I was working in a factory for 5 years. I hated every single minute that I was there. But I was too scared to quit. I had reached a dead end. Financially, my expenses were 3 times more than my income. I spent hours looking at those bills, not knowing what to do. Another dead end. Yet again. In my relationships, the woman I wanted rejected me. The woman I did not want also rejected me. Friends, have you reached a dead end in your life, in your career, in your relationships, financially, just like me? For 5 years, I kept fearing what would happen if I would quit my job. Would I get a better one? Would I get a better pay? Would I be happy? But I woke up one morning and I said, I don't want to do what I'm doing for the rest of my life. So I gathered the courage to erase all those bitter memories and experience and find a new path in my life. At first, it was a complete nightmare. But as time went by, I began to enjoy my new journey. So many things to learn, so many things to discover, so many things to be happy about. That today, even though my life may be far from perfect, it is far much better because I am happy I did not stand still when I reached a dead end. Friends, we all have made mistakes, haven't we? We all have reached dead ends at some point in our life, isn't it? Look at these children. For them, making a mistake doesn't mean anything as long as they don't get caught. For them, reaching a dead end simply means find a new way of getting to where they want to go. Imagine, my dear friends, how much more richer, how much more abundant, how much more fulfilling life experiences would be if we could grow up carrying the attitude of, this morning, I'm going to leave you all with questions. You please answer for yourself. That when our hair turns from black to white, is the same change going to happen to our spirit? When our vision begins to get blurry, are we going to lose sight of our dreams, our goals, where we want to go? When our legs begin to shake, is it going to shake our determination when we reach a dead end? If life is a school, then let's all be students for a lifetime.